One of the biggest mistakes that people make with public speaking, in my experience, is thinking that confidence comes first. And that's what I like to call the confidence myth. People think, once I feel confidence, then I'll be able to get out there and speak. Or once I feel ready, that's when I'll put myself out there or put my hand up for that promotion or say, yes, I'll do that presentation. Or even once I stop feeling nervous about speaking in public, that's when I'll start speaking in public. Now, this might be how you feel. It's certainly how I used to feel. But thinking like that is basically all backwards. And that's because public speaking confidence is not the point at which you start speaking. It's actually the byproduct or the result of starting to speak. So let me repeat that. You don't get confidence first. You start speaking first, and then as a result of that, that's when you become confident. And the reason this is the case is because confidence comes from evidence. When we believe that we're confident, that's when we feel confident. But we can't believe we're confident if we don't actually speak. So, actually standing up in front of people is the way that we get that evidence for ourselves that we are becoming more confident as a speaker. So, doing a talk helps us prove to ourselves, yes, we can do it. Yes, we do get better each time. And even it might be something as simple as, wow, I didn't die. So every time we actually speak in public, we get a little bit more confidence. I like to describe confidence as being a little bit like a bank account. Every small action that we take is like a deposit into the bank account. On the other hand, every avoided action, everything we do to avoid or to procrastinate or to dodge a public speaking experience, is like a withdrawal from that bank account. So we put money in when we take action, but we take money out when we don't take action. And what I have seen is that most people want to make this big withdrawal called confidence to get out there and start speaking in public, but they haven't made any deposits first. And we all know that we can't go to an ATM with a zero account balance and expect to be able to make a withdrawal, right? That's what I see people doing all the time with public speaking. So if confidence is a bank account, the question then becomes, how do I put money in? How do I make deposits? And here's where I see a big problem happen over and over and over again. Because most people think that they're making deposits into their confidence bank when they're actually just gathering up brochures from the bank. To put that another way, what that looks like is collecting lots and lots and lots of information about public speaking. And that's where the gap lies. Think about how much information you already have about public speaking. Maybe you've watched videos or you've attended trainings like this, or you've even heard tips, or you've followed speakers and you've studied and you've researched. Most of us have already got lots of information already. And information is great. It makes us feel inspired. But in my experience, getting the information isn't the problem. We can all easily collect information. Very few people, however, implement the information that they get. They hoard it like my precious. But hoarding information does not create deposits into our confidence bank. The only thing that allows us to put confidence into our bank is action, implementing all of the information that we have. Collecting information is like watching a video on how to ride a bike. You don't learn balance by understanding it rationally and watching it on a video. You only learn balance by almost falling and then correcting and then readjusting. Implementation is getting on that bike and wobbling until you get your balance. So confidence doesn't come from knowing more about public speaking. It comes from doing more public speaking and from doing it repeatedly. And I'm not talking about just random actions that take you nowhere and turn you in knots and confuse you. I'm talking about specific actions that get you from where you are now to where you want to be and faster, so that you can start making those confidence deposits that add up and compound over time. To do this, we need 3 things. Number 1, simple actions. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated, things that are small enough that you'll actually do them. That's why I always teach speaking skills in small chunks with simple actions. Things like writing your intro in really easy language, or practicing your opening lines out loud. Those are simple actions that you can take to move you forward and put money into your, or put deposits into your confidence speaking bank. And once we know how to keep things simple, the next step is to have a really clear structure, because guessing what you should be working on, can be so exhausting. You can waste all of your energy in trying to figure out where you should be going and what you should be doing. Having a clear structure means knowing exactly what the task is and therefore not wasting time trying to figure out what those next steps are and getting frustrated and giving up. A good structure looks like this. Today you might build your opening for your talk. And the next step might be choosing the story you're going to use in your talk. And the final step might be adding your key points to that structure, so that you started to build your talk in a logical, structured way. And once we have those simple actions plus the clear structure, the final piece of this puzzle, and it's probably the most important one, consistency. Consistency is a bit like brushing your teeth. We don't brush once for 3 hours and expect clean teeth for the whole year. If we did that, we'd probably end up with something that looks like this. So instead, we brush for a few minutes every day, right? Being consistent with public speaking means doing things like setting aside 5 minutes on most days of the week to work on doing your talk, not just gathering information, but implementing it. Things like creating short videos or speaking for a few minutes once a week, so you get those small practice reps in. And then once you've done that, you make little edits and tweaks, and then you repeat the process 5 minutes a day, little reps, small edits, and that compounds the results that you can get. So these are the 3 key steps to achieving public speaking confidence. Take simple actions, follow a proven structure, and have sustained consistency. So hopefully now you're ready to stop hoarding that information that you've been gathering and collecting like it's some kind of competitive sport, and start actually implementing it. And I have some good news for you. You don't have to white knuckle this on your own or sit there wondering, okay, but what do I actually do next? I'm going to help you turn all of that learning into simple, clear action without that overwhelm spiral. In fact, I'm going to walk you step by step through exactly how to do this and how to make huge deposits into your confidence bank. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what that looks like in our next session. But right now, I invite you to put into the chat or the comments, what is one small thing, one small action you're going to take today to practice public speaking and to make that little deposit into your public speaking confidence bank?